So if you ever hear me or anybody say, hey, front ensemble, what are you doing? Get over here. This is the front ensemble, all right? So never touch this, and they're part of the front ensemble here with the marching band. So go ahead, sit down. Next, say hello to our flute section. Flute, stand up, wave hello. Next, we have the clarinet section for this coming year. Moving on to the alto saxophones. That's some good words, guys. And then the low reeds. And moving on to the brass section, the trumpets. Say hello to the trumpets. Let's see if we got good waves. There we go. And next, the mellophones. So, parents, these are your French horn players. So, hey, Caleb, hold up your mellophone real quick. So, again, French horn players will be playing this to mellophone. So, if they say mellophone, that's what that looks like compared to their French horn. All right, very good. Sit down, mellophones. Next, we have the baritones. Baritones, stand up, wave below. And next, the trombone section. And last in our wind section, the sousaphones, the tubas. Oh, they got bits this year, they got bits. And then last but not least, keeping time and pulse and all that, the drum line. So the drum line. Nice pose. All right, let's go ahead and stand up, please. Let's go to standby. Real quick before we get started with our first piece of music, we're going to open up with Hey Faith. Behind you here are drum majors for the 2025-2026 season. Hello, our drum majors who are in the rows here. All right, Addie, 126 on the net. Just do that check, make sure we're good. Now, parents, if you hear or see anything you like, clap, cheer, or make them play better, it is A-okay. Perfect. All right, here is Hey Baby. Stand by. Go to standby. All right, hey, eighth graders, so now ninth graders, raise your hand if you just came from Smithville, Richland. Wave hello to your mom and dad. Mom and dad, can you believe we are just in middle school, we are now officially high school kids. It's amazing what, again, hopefully as we go through, you'll be amazed what they've done here this week already. So moving on, we're going to go to Runaway Baby, one of our other classics. This is 1, 3, 3 on the net, Maddie. Stand by. Before we head to our next little bit here, I want to say hello to our instructional leadership team. Grab a seat, Dan, crisscross applesauce. Instructional leadership team, can you stay standing up real quick? And wave hello to your parents. These are drum majors, section leaders, captains. They are a leadership team that's helping instruct all our students, and if they have any needs or issues, students go to them first, and they kind of work with us. But again, these are our students that are instructing both visually and musically here this summer, and helping our students just to kind of grow and be organized and do what we do. All right, everybody stand up. We're going to move on. Drumline, we're going to switch up. We're going to do bird cadence. This is something new we've added here the last few years, bird cadence. And again, like I said, we have to get ready for one of our first, I think, home games. I think it's a home game against Crowley in the third week in the school. And we always have to know the mascot. And I think Crowley, they're the what band?
Eagles.
The Eagles. So we're going to practice right here. So you're going to hear them say, "Beat the Eagles." So here we go. This is bird cadence. Remember, this is for Crowley, that first game. Beat the Eagles. Here we go. Standing by. song we're going to do this week is our alma mater, our school song. So we're going to play that here real quick for you as well. So here is school song. Stand by. Just going to throw out some interesting facts. What's really cool about Birdville with our school song alma mater and then our fight song, they're original compositions. Usually those from high schools can be stolen from other campuses and other colleges around the state. There's a lot of like TCU stuff, other things. But for us, it's original compositions. And it was actually arranged by Fred J. Miller. Fred J. Miller was a middle school band director here in Birdville ISD long ago, I think in North Oaks. And then he went up the ranks and he was a professor at SFA, and he just retired a few years ago. He still lives here in the North Mills area now. But he arranged these two pieces for the school when it first opened. Okay, and I believe the alma mater school song was inspired by those trees out there with the fountain. I believe they couldn't take those down because there was a hawk's nest in there, and that's kind of the reason why there were the hawks. And then it's kind of based off eagles with soar and all that based off of that. So again, original compositions, which is really neat for our school, based off some local band directors here. So it's really neat. Next, we're going to head to the fight song, 145 on the Mets. And here's the fight song. Stand by.
Down to lock.
Yeah, clap it up. Band, sit down for a second. Next, I want to recognize our operations team. If you're on the operation leadership team, go ahead and stand up. Operations. Yeah. Our operations team, again, we've been trying to incorporate kids running the program, and they're in charge. It's been great. So again, we have a uniform manager to help manage our uniforms with parent and adult help, with all the equipment, electronics. We have to make sure we're set for rehearsal, all the big equipment. So this operations team, they do a lot behind the scenes. The music librarians getting a music copy, again, trying to make sure it's off our hands so we can focus on teaching and education, and then just make sure students are in charge of leading our program. So again, clap it up to our awesome leadership team, both instructional and operations. All right, okay, let's stand up, and let's get to the fun stuff. Okay, you are going to hear 3 minutes of our 2005 production competitive marching show, Riff Raff. If we could have our chamber group come on up here in the front. We're We're going to talk about riff-raff a little bit. Riff-raff, mainly it's based off riffs. And what we're doing, we're taking a classical composition composed by Paul Hindemith, which is Symphonic Metamorphosis. And we're using the second movement of that. And it's a very classical piece, but the second movement's a little jazzy in nature. I don't know, maybe on accident, on purpose, I don't really know. But it's kind of a little bit different, and you can pull and take riffs from different pieces. So the whole idea is we're going to have a big giant record player on that side of the field over here by the front ensemble. And then we're going to have kind of records and cabinets and different things out there as well. We're just kind of taking different pieces and showing different clips of music and kind of layering them on top of each other. Okay? So our main theme is going to start with Ian. So this is the main theme of Symphonic Metamorphosis. Ian. So that, yeah, clap it up for Ian. So that's the main classical theme of the second movement. And then another theme is over here in the clarinet. This is the jazzier side of this theme. So this is the second thing of Paul Hindemith's second movement. Yeah, clap it up for So those are the two themes for the second movement of Symphonic Metamorphosis that we're kind of tying the whole piece around, and then we're going to pull different pieces for different things. So let's have, so the first thing we're using is Herbie Hancock's Chameleon. So go ahead and play the bass line here, Tyler. Nice. Stop it for Tyler. And then another part of that theme is over here in trombone and Lexi. Lexi, go ahead and play that other theme. So Symphonic Metamorphosis is the glue of our whole show, and then we're piecing together all these different riffs on top of it for different pieces. You're going to hear a little segment of just front ensemble and baritone, and supposedly that is something stolen from the movie, The Sandlot. There we go, old classic. You're going to hear about The Sandlot. So there's a little segment of stuff just so pulling riffs from different themes and putting it in the show. So here is, without further ado, riff rap. We'll do this twice for you. Okay, so here we go. Riff raff. Stand by. Better stand up. Yeah, what do you think? Want to hear it again? We'll do it here one more time for you before we go. You won't be here for a few months here. But also too, so over here we have the Girl from Ipanema, the little elevator music that we do. So there's a big effect. We have a record stretch, and then we go right into that, like we're changing records, and then we do the record stretch out of it again and go back to the band. So once we have it all together, you'll see the big picture here musically. All right, so let's do it one more time. So that is, again, our 2005 production riff raff, and then we'll get out of here. Here we go, band. One last time, please. Stand by.
Take two.
Yeah, give it up for him here. That's a lot of music we've done here this week to get a head start on the fall. So again, here with our Monday nights, if we're here in town, we're here. If not, just go have on vacation, but we're going to continue. But a big standby band. Go standby trumpets. But again, we're going to continue learning stand tunes. We'll get our ballads or any more of the show here this summer. Okay. Again, thank you here for supporting your child in our program and the public education here at music. So enjoy the summertime, and thanks for letting hang out here for this first week of summer before we let them loose. So again, give me one more round of applause here before they go. Okay. We'll just here in about like 10 seconds, but just make sure your kid has put away their stand and done everything they need to before they get out of here. Clean their locker too, their van locker. All right, here we go, standing by band.